Namaste everyone. Let's quickly relook all important concepts in final hour of revision for real numbers. We all know that real numbers are divided in two parts, rational number and irrational number. Now the rational number are the numbers which I can write in P by Q form, where P and Q are the integers, like 1 by 3. And if I convert it into decimal, it is 0.333. It keeps going. We also write it as 0.3 bar. So it is non-terminating but repeating, non-terminating and recurring rational number. 1 by 2 is also rational number in decimal form. It stops, so it is a terminating rational number. If the factors of denominator are only 2 and 5, either 2 or 5 or both, then it will be terminating rational number. But if the factors of denominator has even a single factor other than 2 and 5, then it will be non-terminating but repeating rational numbers. Now irrational numbers we all know is uh, the number which doesn't stop and doesn't repeat also. Like if root 2 I will get by long division 1.41, long division of square root I'm talking about, 1.414, and it will keep going. The pattern of digits will never repeat and it won't stop also. We know that the square root of all non-perfect square numbers like root 3, root 5, all these are irrational numbers. Now what kind of question comes from here? They may give us an expression which they will ask whether it is a rational or irrational. Now in a glance if I see I have root 2, root 3, so it looks like an irrational number. But let me simplify it. I am seeing they both of the brackets have the common exponent 10. So I can combine the brackets. Now also if I combine the bracket, I am seeing a formula building up. What is it? It is root a plus b and a minus b. Root 10 raised to power 10 I have written out. So I know that a plus b and a minus b is a square minus b square, which is 2 minus 3. So it will be minus 1 raised to power 10, which is 1 only. So in end, after solving, I am getting a rational number. So it is a rational number. Then numbers can be categorized further. Like I can have prime numbers, composite number, coprime numbers. The prime numbers are the numbers divisible by the number itself and 1. Composite numbers are the numbers which can have factors other than 1 and number itself also. Coprime numbers are the numbers which are not having any common factor. Like here 18 and 25 both are composite numbers, but they are coprime because their factors, they are not having any common factor. From coprime numbers they may give you questions like this. Here if I see they have a common factor 7. Here they are having common factor 31. 31 is a prime number, but if you see 31 into 3 is 93. And here also we have common factor 2. See, it's a MCQ, you have to be very quick. You need not to find all the factors. Just see if you are getting a common factor or not. Here I don't have any common factor. For 25 it is 5 into 5 and 18 it is 3 square into 2. So it is not having any common factor. My correct answer is B. From prime numbers and composite numbers, they may give you a sum number, which you have to tell whether it is a composite or not. So here if you see it ends with 5. So it has a factor as 5, which is other than 1 in number itself. Now see this new expression written in green, whether it is a composite or not. Now many students will be like, who will solve it? It will waste our time. No. If you see, you can apply distributive property over here. If I take 11 out, it is 5 plus 2, 3, 4. So whatever number you are getting after solving, I am not interested. I have a common factor 11 for this number, which is definitely other than 1 in number itself. So it is also a composite number. Then come questions like whether it ends with 0, like 6 raised to power n, 4 raised to power n, 12 raised to power n, whether they will end with 0 ever for any n where n is a natural number. We know that in the number to end with 10, it should have a factor 10. And the factors of 10 is 2 into 5. So if 2 and 5 both are present as a factor, then only a number can end with 10. Here for 6, what are the factors? 2 into 3. So none of these is having factor 5, if you see. So how big is your n doesn't matter. 5 is not present as a factor here, so these three numbers will never end with 0. Now comes LCM HCF questions. Let me take two numbers, 120 and 108. I know the prime factorization of 120 is 2q into 3 into 5, and for 108 it is 2 square into 3 cube. See, I am assuming you all know the prime factorization and all. We are just revising the concept quickly. Okay, so now here for HCF I have to pick the lower part. So here amongst 2 cube and 2 square I will pick 2 square. Amongst 3 and 3 cube, I will pick 3. I need a biggest number which will divide both the numbers. So all the common factors I am picking. 5 is not present in 108. So this is the HCF. For LCM, I will pick the bigger parts. So basically all the factors of 108 and 120 should be present in that number and with no extra factor. So here I will pick the bigger parts. 2 cube. Here amongst 3 cube and 3 cube, I will take 3 cube. And here if you see it is 5 raised to power 0. So I will pick 5. So this is my LCM. Also we did one relationship. If A and B are the two numbers, then product of LCM and HCF is equal to product of numbers. This is an important relation, and at times it is required to find few of the equations. Your LCM should always be divisible by HCF, because HCF is the factors with the lowest power and LCM is the factors with the higher powers. Now here if this question comes, definitely 175 is not divisible by 15. Also please actually divide it. In a glance if I say it looks like 175 is divisible by 15 because 75 is divisible. So you actually check 175 is not divisible by 15. So yes, no two numbers can have 15 as a HCF and 175 as a LCM. Then for HCF LCM, we have these kind of questions, and the most common confusion among the student is whether to find LCM or to find HCF. Now here if you see the least number which when divided, I have to divide the number by these numbers. So number will be bigger and it should be divisible by all the three numbers given 35, 56, 91. So I need to find LCM over here. Since the remainder should be same, which is 7, what I will do? Let me explain with you example. Now 15 is divisible by 5. I know that. If I add 2 to it, I am getting 17. So if I divide 17 by 5, my remainder will be 2. This 2 is extra which I added to it. The number divisible by 5 was 15. Same way I will find LCM and I will add 7 to it. So this 7 will be extra for all the three numbers. Now let's relook the second question. The largest number that will divide. So here number will divide these three numbers. So since number has to be divide these three numbers, so my number has to be smaller. It has to divide these three numbers. But remainder I should get as 7, 11 and 15. What I will do? This 7, this 11 and this 13 is extra. So let me subtract this 7 beforehand. So if I subtract, I am getting 391. 436, if I subtract 11 from it, I will get 425. And if I subtract 15 from 542, I will get 527. So if I find HCF of these numbers, then my required number I will get. So this number was extra if you see, because I need to get it as remainders, right? So beforehand only I subtracted. I have seen the students with lot of confusions, ma'am, when to add, when to subtract. If you're cramming the method, definitely it is not going to come. See, this is a quick revision class. If you have doubts, you put these kind of questions in comments. I will try explaining them later in detailed manner. Then comes proving irrationality. Prove that root 2 is irrational, root 3 is irrational. All that we have done already. They may also give you root 3 plus 8 is irrational. So here if it is a 5 marker, or then you first prove root 3 is irrational first, and then using root 3 is irrational you have to prove root 3 plus 8 is irrational. If they are giving it as a just 2 marker, then you can assume root 3 is irrational and you can directly prove that root 3 plus 8 is also irrational, considering root 3 is irrational. Also here sometimes they ask in the variable form, like root p plus root q is irrational. Now proving root p plus root q, proving it is irrational can be asked in two forms. One is where it is given that p and q are prime, and one is where given root pq is irrational. So you have to decide accordingly. If given that root p and q are prime, so you should take this way: root p plus root q, let us say by contradiction method, this is equal to a by b, where a and b are co-primes. Since I don't want root pq, if I square here both the sides, I will get root pq and 2ab. What I will do, I will take root q on other side, and then I will do square. When I will do square, I will get p is equal to a square by b square plus q, and only root q will come. Now minus 2 root q into a by b. So I have to first prove root q as irrational, and then using root q is irrational, I will take everything towards LHS except root q, and I will say that LHS is rational, because mathematical operations between the rational number always gives you rational number, but root q is irrational, so contradiction method. If it is given root pq is irrational, then I will say let root p equal to root q is irrational, let it be equal to a by b, and I will do square here only, because root pq should be an expression, and with 2ab I will get 2pq now, so then it is same. Now I hope it is clear what I am trying to say. If it is still not clear, please let me know in the comments. So these are the questions which you should be fully prepared before writing any exam, any test for real numbers. As such, there are many other questions also, but we have just taken the most important ones which comes frequently in exams. If you have still any other doubt with any other question, please let me know in the comment box. We will try explaining somewhere later. See you in next class. Bye bye.